And welcome back to the KFYR Plus News Desk. And today we are diving into a growing controversy. Insurance companies now using drones to inspect homes without notifying owners. Joining me now is Mark Villasana, agency principal at Northwest Insurance Agency, to discuss the implications for homeowners and the industry. Mark, welcome to the News Desk. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Can you explain how and why insurance companies now are using drones to inspect properties?
Yeah, that's a great question, Jay. Well, it depends on who you ask. The insurance companies are going to tell you that drones are offering a cost-effective way to inspect their properties. Whether it
Mhm.
be in a wooded area, hard to reach area, or if they're just inspecting regular things like overgrown trees or roof tiles. They're going to say that they need it to underwrite these policies better and to make sure that risks are minimized and lower costs. But the consumer is going to tell you that's just another violation of their privacy. So, again, it's going to depend on who you ask.
Yeah, is this practice legal and are homeowners typically notified beforehand?
Well, yeah, it actually is legal in most states. In fact, there's not a lot of legislation out there that's saying what these insured companies can and cannot do. There's a pending case in Massachusetts right now where a woman had some overgrown brush on her
Hmm.
rooftop. She received notice in the mail saying she had roughly 10 days to clear it up, or else her policy would be going to be canceled. And she was fortunate enough to have the funds to be able to take care of that. It ended up costing her about $1,200. But that wasn't the issue to her. The issue was that this was done unbeknownst to her, and she felt like her privacy was violated. So she has, in fact, taken her particular insurance company to court.
So, how widespread is this drone surveillance in the insurance industry today? Could this become standard practice?
Well, it almost is standard practice right now. As technology expands, it's only going to start happening more and more everywhere. Most insurance companies now are adopting these drones inspection, and that's why it's critical for the legislatures in any state to get ahead of it. As I mentioned, Massachusetts does have a pending case, but really, other than that there's not a lot of set legislature in any state that tells the insurance company what is allowed and what is not allowed. So uh, there's not a lot of consistency on what they can and can't do. But it is apt out there now.
Okay, so we know a lot of bigger companies are doing it. Are smaller regional insurers also adopting this drone technology, or is it mostly just the large companies?
Well, no, it's like anything else. The larger companies started out with it, but as results come in, and the results can vary from year to year. So, a big loss, a big storm can throw everything off kilter. But as results come in and it shows that the insurance companies are in fact saving money, because we have to remember, insurance companies are like any other entity. They're there to make money.
Hmm.
So if the results come in showing they're making money, you will see more and more smaller insurance companies start to use this practice. And in fact, you are.
Okay. Mark, what rights do homeowners have when it comes to aerial inspections of their property?
Well, right now, again, there's not a lot of what you can do, but as far as the law is concerned, there's not a lot of legislation out there. But there are some things that the consumer can do. The first thing I
Hmm.
would do is make sure that you become empowered yourself. You want to request that you get a copy of the image that maybe that the insurance company asked for. Make sure there's transparency exactly what the requirement is. Make sure you document every transaction you have with the insurance company, specifically when it comes to an issue of drone coverage, because you have to remember, you're taking the insurance company's word that whatever they found is true. So
Yeah.
you make sure you want to document everything.
Can homeowners refuse this type of surveillance?
Again, right now you can't, but what you can do, if you feel your rights and your privacy have been violated, what I would suggest you immediately take the complaint to your local agent. If your local agent can't do anything about it, let's go to the insurance company, and not the state insurance department. State insurance department has a board. Go to that board, and there's even advocacy groups out there. There's one called United Policyholders, and what their
Hmm.
purpose is really is to advocate for the consumer against insurance companies. So there are methods to the madness. You just have to be consistent and make sure you investigate your claims.
So are insurers required to disclose drone use in their policy agreements or renewal notices at all?
Not at, that's there's the rub. Not as of yet. They can do this without you notifying, and that is where people are having a problem with. So, you look up in the sky, you might think it's something being delivered, but it could be they're inspecting your property, checking out your rooftop. So, that's where consumers really need to start speaking out because remember, the more noise you make, the more actions the insurance companies are gonna have to take.
I think you covered it just a moment ago, but just for clarification and for the viewer's sake, Mark, how should homeowners respond if they receive a notice based on drone footage?
Well, let's do due diligence first of all. As I mentioned before, you want to make sure you contact your insurance company or your local agent and ask for the specific image, and request a clear explanation of what the issue is. Make sure you know exactly what they're asking for, and if you can, inspect it yourself if that's a possibility. If you have the means, get a third party to inspect it. You want to make sure that you document all your responses and all your repairs. And again, if you feel you're still being treated unfair, there are insurance boards out there and advocacy groups that can help you.
Okay. And do you think this practice crosses the line in terms of privacy? I'm asking you as the insurance agent here in the conversation.
Well, technology is coming whether we like it or not, and I just think that the insurance companies need to understand that as they are empowered with the technology, the consumer is also. And so as
Yeah.
consumers, we need to make that we keep up with the technology that's out there. So we're not surprised, right? We just want transparency. I would ask the insurance companies that there's clear explanations, clear standards, that they have respect for the homeowners. We're seeing a lot of loyal homeowners, a lot of customers, excuse me, be penalized for issues that unbeknownst to them, for practice unbeknownst to them. So
Hmm.
I would just say transparency. That's where we need to start.
Mark, let's flip it around. Let's work it for the homeowner's benefit. Could this technology benefit the homeowner? For example, maybe helping them detect issues that are early. Maybe the shingles aren't very good, and maybe you don't want whatever, forever, whatever reason it is.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned, it really is important that we get empowered with the technology because the technology is going to determine whether an insurance company keeps the risk or penalizes the homeowner is the same technology is going to allow the homeowner to dispute that, right? So I think it's important that we again you become educated on exactly what the insurance company is looking for before you purchase the policy because
Hmm.
you don't want to ever be surprised as an insured, as a homeowner, or any type of insurance, and next thing you know, your policy's expired. So I would say, as a homeowner, yes, it can benefit you, but only as educated as you become with the issues.
Sure. Okay. What do you think needs to change, either in policy or practice, to ensure that homeowners are protected while insurers manage the risk responsibly?
I think unfortunately, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but legislatures need to get involved more. They need to set, they need to set clear standards on what exactly is allowed from the insurance company. Because again, we live in a capitalistic society. Insurance companies are money making entities. They're going to make sure that they use every advantage they can to make money. Drones being just another example of that. So I would say that that's where we need to start the conversation. We need to get some clear sets of rules and regulations on the books.
How long have these companies been using drone technology? Has it been a year, 2 years, 3 years? How long have we been?
Well, it's not really that new of a technology. What's new is the implementation of it to determine the validity of risk.
Hmm.
That's really a new process, less than 3 years, really, where a lot of insurance companies are adapting. We have seen it on the commercial side, but the increase now has become on the personal insurance side, where these things are inspecting neighborhoods, prior to even deciding whether they want to take their product to a particular zip code.
Yeah. Okay. Well, drone insurance inspections, of course, they raise privacy, fairness, and transparency concerns nationwide. Mark Villasana, thank you so much for your insights today. I sure appreciate your time, sir.
Thank you again for having me. Have a great weekend.